Hello everyone, welcome back to the non-league treatment room with me, Cooky. As always, Daveo is alongside me. How are you, mate? You good?
Yes, very well, mate. Yourself?
Very good, very hot.
It is hot today.
We can't complain because it's lovely weather, but it's just a bit sticky, isn't it?
It'd have been a perfect pod to do outside.
Oh, it would have been, yeah. But we are down at Atherstone. There's a bit of work going on, isn't there?
A lot of work going on.
Looks good. Pictures coming along, some change rooms being done, so it's going to look well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So any players that are going to be with Atherstone, nice shiny new changing room.
Yep, needed it though.
Yeah, it needs a bit of a refreshing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Freshen up. But we're just going to do a bit of a season review, season look back. We've had a lot of guests who've been on the pod who have really performed well this year, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've gone on to win promotions, they've gone on to have big cup runs,
Top goal scorer awards.
all sorts of cool stuff, so we can sort of give them a little bit of an honourable mention as well, can't we, and stuff. But yeah, if you're listening, thank you so much for supporting us. Sorry that there's been a bit of gap between episodes, but we're doing our best, aren't we? We're busy people.
We are.
So yeah, we have to have a break as well, but it's all good. We're hopefully going to get some managers and players on over the summer to keep you filled in. We're just working in the background on those, so hopefully they'll come shortly. But yeah, if you're new to listening, then welcome. Where have you been? But yeah, we'll have a look back at some of our old stuff. We've got some great episodes with some great people, haven't we? So yeah, anything to say from you?
Season never stops for us, mate.
It doesn't, and that's probably my first point, is that the season finishes and straight away you see on social media players re-signing, players being retained, and it's like a never-ending cycle sort of thing of the season doesn't stop, does it?
Well, no, we spoke about it before, didn't we, with non-league managers, that you think that you only see at the top tiers of the game, that it's all year round, and you see players having a break and that and go on holidays, whereas, don't get me wrong, the players in non-league are still going away on their family holidays. You see it all over Instagram and all over Facebook. But signings, scheduling friendlies, training sessions, if you're a player, keeping yourself ticked over, because competition's fierce these days, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's just been mad, and it's sort of like it's been filtered down, isn't it? You see like the pro clubs, they do their retain list, and things, and now it's coming down into, like, I think Atherstone, they've done a bit of a retain players and stuff, and I suppose it's as a fan, it's nice to see if players are going to stick around for the next season, and as a manager, I suppose it's getting your business done early, isn't it? So but it's going to be exciting to see. So yeah, that's cool. But we're going to start. Where are we going to start? Step 6? Yeah, we have to, don't we? Because one of our local clubs, Nuneaton Town, they obviously done the business, winning promotion, winning quite comfortably, I think, as well, weren't it?
Yep, just looking at it now, so 103 points, and Heather St John's, who finished second, were on 95. Nuneaton still lost 3 games though, so it's been a competitive league for them. But I think we spoke about it with Adam when he was on. If you're a Nuneaton fan or a Nuneaton player, you expect to win that league, don't you? Really?
Yeah, that's it. Going back to our Euro special last year, probably this time last year would have been. Probably, it would have been, well.
yeah.
We Adam said, I said it's sort of like they should have what was it, like a period of sustainability. Adam was like, no, they should be going up, and they did, and I suppose he's right in a way, aren't they? And fans, that's what they expect of a club like that. Everyone knows, I think they have a good budget. Obviously budgets are always talked about across the leagues, but
that comes from somewhere, doesn't it? And it seems now, it's been such a long time, hasn't it, Cooky, that we've seen Nuneaton thriving and financially in a good place. And now they've started from the foundations up again. Yes, they are playing at Bedworth's ground, but they've got to start somewhere, haven't they? And I hope that, because me and you are both from Nuneaton, I hope that they thrive and they can get back to where they were all them years ago when they were in the higher divisions of non-league. It'd be great to see, wouldn't it?
It's nice to see that for the last 2-3 years, Nuneaton's just been a horror story, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has,
Relegations, financial battles, this, that,
and we
this,
found that out through our guests that we've had on that have played.
Definitely. And obviously we know Jimmy quite well, and you know, I think if he hadn't stepped in, the club would have gone a long time ago. But it's nice now seeing that flip of actually there's a positive that's come out of this. Nuneaton have got promoted, and they're going to work back up the league. It's just going to be interesting to see how they perform in that step 5.
Yeah.
You know, Averstons, they're going to be in the same league as Averstone.
Yeah. So many local derbies,
and Hinkley as well. Lutterworth, I think, is in there as well. So, is there a Coventry team in there as well?
Yeah, Cov United.
Yeah, so there's going to be those little Midland derbies, which are going to be interesting. It's another level up. I've already seen they've retained a few of their players, haven't they? But they've lost their main striker, I think, who's...
D'Amico Johnson, is it?
I think he's gone.
He has, yeah.
So that's going to be interesting. Who can they have got them... They've just signed a striker, haven't they?
Cole Jardine, yeah.
So...
They've signed a few, I think.
They've signed a few, so whether that's a replacement for D'Amico, then...
I hope that's his name.
I think it's about that, yeah. I think it is. Sorry if it's wrong. Yeah, we do apologise.
I know that he played for Cowley's Sunday team. What were they called? Trooper, yeah.
I
know he played for Trooper.
Yeah.
So he's
Super Trooper.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be interesting. Darren Acton, obviously, an Nuneaton legend as well, isn't he? So let's see what they can do. But and then who's the other team in there?
So it was Coton Green. Which
again surprised. I don't know if it surprised me because I don't know much about.
Yeah, we both just said this off air, haven't we?
We know Tom Wheel plays for Wheelie.
Yeah.
So who's an Averstone lad and stuff. So we know that. But I always remember like Coton Green always being around that step 6, step 7 sort of area when Averstone used to play them in friendlies or whatever and stuff. So I know the ground as well. Well, it used to be like, you used to get bad mozzie bites there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember like the dressing room and change rooms. But yeah, I suppose. But again, it's nice. That's a Tamworth side because they are from that Tamworth area.
Yeah, it's Faisley way, isn't it?
Yeah. So
Russell Dodds was the manager of Coton Green when I last ever had any sort of competitive edge against them with Atherstone, and now he's obviously the assistant manager of Nuneaton. So
and they're going to be in the same. Will they be in the same league?
I don't think so.
Think they will,
this is one thing that I've not.
They're probably going to the Midlands. I would have thought.
I imagine so.
So
I imagine
they'll probably miss out on like them Nuneaton games and stuff.
Yeah, but they beat Leicester St Andrews in the playoff final on penalties. So
down to the wire.
Yeah, and obviously we've got a couple of friends, and one who I bumped into the other day actually in Aldi. Jamie Hood played for Leicester St Andrews.
I've just seen he is now.
You have, because me and him were talking about it.
What was it?
Bedworth under 18s.
That's it, Bedworth under 18s.
Yeah. I bumped into him in Aldi and he was talking to me about it.
How interesting.
Yeah. Well, he's lads.
Okay.
That age as well.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. Well, he's not. I think it's under. It might be under 17s or it could be under 16s. But there's two teams that him and another lad that I know, Aaron Eels, have gone in there and done together.
Well, fair play. Obviously we wish Jamie the best there.
Yeah, and obviously we had Jorin as well. Okay. Played for Leicester St Andrews.
Yes, Jorin. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's moved on. I think.
You know, he used to play for Leicester St Andrews. Brady Hickey.
Did he?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, okay.
That's where he played at Leicester St Andrews and then went to Barwell. Yeah.
So they've unfortunately lost on penalties to Coton Green. So yeah, that's step 6 confirmed. Nuneaton Town and Coton Green, but that's new step 5 league is looking. Finally, it's a chance to get loads of local derbies. Loads of people through the gates, hopefully. And then it's just better for non-league, isn't it? Because, you know, you come down to a normal game at step 6, step 5, you're probably expecting a couple of hundred, maybe.
Yeah,
whereas,
definitely.
You know, these big derbies are going to be hopefully jam-packed.
Yeah, definitely. Attendance is massive for clubs, aren't they, with revenue and stuff nowadays? Yeah. So it's always nice to make sure teams do well, don't they? So and supporting their local team. But where are we off to? Step 5?
Step 5, obviously.
Step
we had
5.
the Lichfield manager and chairman on the other day. Obviously, they've got promoted, so Ivor and Darren, well done to them.
Yeah, that episode is out now on audio, so go and check that out. Great conversation with Ivor, as always, massive friend of the pod, and then great to sit down with Darren Lever, chairman, owner of Lichfield, and what him and his team have done. And honestly, it's unbelievable. Yeah. And he spoke so freely, didn't he? He didn't hold anything back. I thought it was a really honest conversation, actually. So that's out now. Go and listen to that. Hopefully it will be out on YouTube shortly as well with the video. Our man Rich is just sorting that out. But yeah, great to have that insight. And you know what Ivor's like, he's very honest, isn't he? And he enjoys talking to us, doesn't he? About his
just a footballing man, isn't
he?
He's
a footballing
man. But I back you up on that and echo that, Cooky, because I really enjoyed having a chairman on, and I want to do more episodes with chairman, because you just find stuff out, and like, you know, the logistics behind it all, and the fact that he started it from the ground up, and you know.
And I think it'd be interesting if we had a different chairman from a different club, because they might do things completely different.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that would be like okay, wow. And it's fair to Lichfield, like, and Darren says it's just him and Leon.
Yeah.
And possibly someone else. I'm sorry if I forgot their name, but yeah, like someone else. There's no committee. There's no like. No.
And I find that really strange.
Let's vote for this. Put your hands up there. He was literally the mindset of, we need that. Fuck it, we're getting it.
Yeah.
Weren't they? So, which I think is, I mean, fair play. It's fair play to them, but they've done well. We spoke with them. They've obviously remained top of the table for a good portion of the league. They are lost in the playoffs last year against Darlaston. So they talked about having that fight and desire continuing on, didn't they? And it's obviously great to see a local person who we know do well, get promoted in step 4. It's just going to be really interesting to see how they push on now in step 4. It's a tough league they're going into, big clubs in there, but I think they'll be fine. I think, you know, we know Ivor and how he is. I think they'll be all right. 1 or 2 additions, I think they'll be fine.
I agree completely. And obviously joining them, I don't think they are going into the same league. There might be with Shifnal. So obviously Aviston played against Northwich, lost 1-0. We were at that game.
Come to that, yeah. And that was a tough game, that was, because I remember coming to watch them play them in the league. And Aviston beat them like 3-0 or something like that, or 3-1 or 4-1. Aviston dominated as a Tuesday night game, dominated them. And you thought, it would be the same again. But I don't know, I can't remember the conditions. Were the conditions all right?
The pitch was rock hard.
Yeah, conditions, I'm not sure about if it was a bit windy as well, but it's a tough game. Like, it was a really tough to watch for both sides, I think.
Yeah.
And it was just that one moment at the end, weren't it?
Well, you just know, don't you, as soon as you think to yourself, it's scoreless, at half time you can sort of settle in and go, okay, it's 0-0. But then every 10 minutes that goes by, you just think, somebody's got to nick a goal here, somebody's got to nick a goal. And I remember I left early, didn't I?
Yeah,
and I went and walked up to the top right hand side of Aviston, just up here, turned, and I seen them cross the ball, and the lad got on the end of it.
It's Quinny. For their goal?
Yeah, I walked past Quinny's chance.
Did you? Okay.
That's when I was walking round.
That was the moment, that was. I think it was on a plate, weren't it? And I think it's just unfortunate. It's one of them.
Shout out to Quinny. He's just got married, hasn't he?
He has.
Congratulations, Quinny.
Yeah. Shout out. Lovely. Where's my invite? God knows. I'll probably give you about 50,000 rubs, and I got you through those games, mate.
Yeah, you did.
So, you know, where are they?
I walked past that though, so I walked round the back of that goal, and I didn't see it fully, but I just turned, and he had his hands on his head.
That there, I think, was that moment, and you do back a lot on Quinny to finish that.
Yeah.
And I think if he had it again, he probably would have scored. But it's a difficult one for Aviston. I mean, for us being Aviston fans and worked in the club and know the club and know a lot of people in the club, we spoke to some people, if it would have gone up, would it have been the right time for the club? Obviously it would have been a great occasion. It's always great winning a promotion, always great going up and stuff, but could Aviston have survived at that level of step 4? I think they could have, with the size of the club, but it's always one of those of, you know, you don't want to come straight back down, and I don't think they would have done that, but
I just think there's a lot going on around at the minute in Atherstone with, like we said earlier, there's a lot of construction going on. They know they've got a vision. They know what they want. So I think personally, it'd have been, like you said, it'd have been nice if they'd gone up, but it's not the end of the world because they can fully concentrate on this now of getting it looking like a Step 4 club. And
and Tomo's getting his players sorted, retaining some really good standout players for next year. Unfortunately, but also a positive, they've lost the keeper.
Well, they've lost a couple. So they've lost Finn
Barwell, Finn obviously left, he's gone to Barwell Step 3, which Raviston it's lost, but for Finn, he's moving up 2 levels there to really test himself.
Young age as well.
19,
20, I think he is.
It's going to be a good challenge for
him. I hope he does
well.
He deserves it. And then obviously they've lost their top goal scorer.
Yes, Ryan Harkin's gone to Cov United, hasn't he?
Cov United. Was he there before, Cookie? I think he was, wasn't he?
I don't think he's been at Cov United.
Is he not? He was at Sphinx, weren't he?
Sphinx he's been at.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's been at Cov United.
But
it's local to him as well.
Yeah.
Which that might be a massive reason, but who knows? But yeah, that's it. They've got to then. They have already got someone in.
Yeah, they got young Dan Edmonds in.
Yeah, so
I've had the pleasure of coaching.
Okay.
I had Dan when he was a youngster.
Nice.
And he comes from a really good family, lovely parents, and they'll support him fully. It was ready for Dan to move, and I think that the Neat and Griff manager would agree.
Nice.
He must be gutted, but Dan's ready now to step up. And I think he'll thrive personally. I don't think he's ever played in...
He'll be surrounded by good people.
Well, this is it.
Look what it's done for like Titch and even someone like Ewan Williams when we were here.
Yeah.
The similar players that he'll be surrounded by has helped. So it could be...
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a big factor, isn't it? Like people like Conor Goodger and that.
Well, obviously going back to what we were saying, though, Aviston lost to Northwich 1-0. And then Shifnal played Northwich in the playoff final. And looking at this piece of paper in front of me now, when you see a 2-0 win, you think that's quite convincing, but I imagine that it'd have been hard for Shifnal. Yeah. But everybody always said, Cookie, that Shifnal were ready to move up. Right. And Shifnal were the toughest team to play against in the league. And obviously they had a really good cup run as well, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
So
a bit of a standout for Shifnal. They obviously had Sam Fitzgerald, didn't they? He's just been on the Ballers League.
Yeah.
Just been to England.
He's been on the Ballers League?
He was on Ballers League. He was on Miniminter's team.
Really?
Yeah. Scored a few goals and done really well, actually.
I never knew that.
And then he's just done the 5-a-side or 6-a-side tournament of England.
Okay.
Over in, I don't know where it was, but somewhere nice and high it was. So he's had a big experience, and he's obviously been at Shifnal as well, and helped win the playoff final. He might have scored a pen maybe or something like that. So obviously I've known Sam from being here down in Aviston when Ivor was here and stuff, and a little bit at Lichfield as well. So fair play, get on that Ballers League.
Yeah, that's some achievement. That is, because I've seen some of the players that have played in
There's a lot of non-league players on that, you know.
What an incredible idea, though. It's like the old Masters, isn't it?
Well, it originates from, they do it in Germany.
Okay.
So they do it in Germany already. I think it's been going for a bit in Germany, and then it's been brought over here now. And but they've got obviously a lot of famous people involved.
But it seems like a lot of YouTubers and that have creating the teams.
But the teams are full of non-league footballers, basically.
Yeah, well, I've seen some names, mate. I've seen Troy Deeney.
Yeah, they were allowed like a wild card to bring some like an ex-pro in or something. Okay. So that's where like I think Troy Deeney played, Marvin Sordell, Noel Ranger come on for a team. Then there's probably a few more that I'm missing there, but you're allowed like a wild card to.
It gets heated though, doesn't it? I've seen a lot of things going on when I flick through my phone on social media. Angry Ginger's got a team, hasn't he?
Yes, yeah, he was doing quite well actually, and then I think they missed out when it got to like the playoffs or something, or those rounds, but good.
How interesting! Yeah. Brilliant to see.
No, we'll have to get Sam on.
Yeah, mate. It just absolutely. It just reminds me of the old Masters football. I don't know if you
I do, yeah.
You remember it.
Yeah, no, yeah. It's very similar to that.
Yeah.
But they'll have like, I don't. Have you watched it?
Yeah, it's like I've seen them have like American shootouts and stuff.
Yeah,
like
they'll have
to
like,
run from the halfway line and
they'll have like they'll play normal till like 15 minutes and then it'll be like a break and it'll go right. It's like a little mini game, like 1-on-1 or halfway line or something like that. Yeah, or 2-on-2 I think or something like that.
I'll have to have a watch of it, mate.
It's finished now. So you'll have to. Yeah, I think it's finished now. So you'll have to get it on catch up.
Watch the highlights.
Watch the highlights.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, no. So yeah, exciting for Atherstone next year. See what they can do. And Tomo and the lads who obviously always supporting them. So yeah.
Leicester Road have liquidated, which is a massive shock, by the way.
But also for Rugby Town, they're like back in step 4.
Well, another little bit of transfer news. I've seen that all of the Leicester Road players, well, not all of them, but a few have signed for Lutterworth.
Yes,
which is in Atherstone League. So one of our good friends, Nathan Astill, Nitter,
he's back
I've seen
playing.
that he signed, and then a couple of other players that have played for Leicester Road have gone to Lutterworth Town. Well, around the corner, isn't it?
Yeah, and like the joint manager or assistant manager, Callum Earls, he was at Leicester Road for quite a long time.
Yeah.
So he would know a lot of the lads and stuff. So I think there's obviously that link there. But, well, they've always been good players there, haven't they? So if you can just transfer straight over, happy days.
Absolutely.
But yeah, always going to be interesting on the old step 5.
Right, step 4. Obviously, we had Quorn, and they were flying, weren't they?
Yeah, Quorn won it by a storm, to be fair. Really good team. Ryan Beswick, a young player manager, done really well there. But also had a good team of good players. So it's good to see Quorn going up. I think they could have gone up probably last year if like, Labs was there or someone like that. I think you could have pushed them as well.
Yeah,
I think they were always quite set up well for that league.
Well, strap yourself in for this. 115, drew 4, lost 1. So that was their home record. Their away record was 17-3-0. So they were better away than they were at home. And they finished on 103 points. Now, second place, Corby Town, finished on 85. So that just shows how well. Plus 79 goal difference for Quorn. So they've scored some goals.
They must have a good striker.
Yeah, 104 in total.
Fair play.
But that fine. Obviously, Quorn got the autos, and then the step 4 playoff final was Corby Town versus Worcester City, who we've come up against before. Really nice ground.
Well, back to back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Back to back promotion for Worcester, which is amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chris Corns is doing a fantastic job there. Yeah, they won what 2-1, didn't they?
2-1 against Corby Town. Yeah.
And Corby Town are a good team, and like, there's a good setup there.
They've been around
well.
non-league for
They've
a
been
long
around
time,
a long,
mate,
and in and out of step 3 a few times and stuff as well. So, but fair play to Worcester pushing on again. I remember going there with Atherstone with Adam and Ross and you and that a few years ago.
Battered them, didn't we?
And we battered them, and you're thinking, oh, this team's struggling.
Yeah.
Like, but something's obviously been turned around and they've just got going again. And I think that's how quick it can happen. With a team, you can be 1 minute in step 6 struggling, but then you just bounce back 2 promotions and you've done well. So fair play to them, but also good mentions to Darlaston. They did really well for their first season in step 4, and Dean Gill, one a good friend of ours. Fair play. They were really close to the playoffs.
Yeah, just outside.
Just outside the playoffs, so they did well. And also Racing Club Warwick. Scotty Easterlow, a good friend of ours as well, who's been on the pod. You know, respectable finish in the league and ready to push on again, which I think is good to see, isn't it?
Their Facebook and Instagram has been very busy, by the way, for signings. Racing Club Warwick.
Well, you putting the thing Martin Slevin.
Yeah, and I was asking Ross because
I always thought he was at Stourport.
He was at Stourport, but then Ross confirmed to me that he went to Racing Club Warwick after Stourport, and now he's decided to step away. But he was always one, Slebs, that when he played down here for Stourport against Atherstone, he was so good, mate. He was like the smallest lad on the pitch, but he was really good in the air, powerful, really like commanding. He was a captain, and I could see why. Like very, very talented player, but
bit of a loss then for Racing Club, you say?
Well, yeah. I mean, Scotty put a Facebook post on and said, "I'm gutted to lose him, but I wish him all the best." And it's always nice when you see stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Fair play. But obviously that's the league literally going into with Racing Club Warwick, so that'll be an interesting watch, and who knows who'll win over those ones. We're going step
3.
Step 3.
Yeah.
Which was Kettering and Telford.
Kettering and Telford?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so Kettering, they were in the playoffs against Telford, weren't they?
Yeah.
And Bedford went up.
Bedford got autos. And the playoff final was Kettering versus Telford. But obviously it gets interesting there, Cookie, because it's... Am I right in saying it's over 2 legs?
The final's not. No, the final isn't, but the playoffs before they are.
Okay.
Are they? No, I don't think they are, actually.
Are they not?
They're not over 2 legs, no.
Okay.
So it's first... So the playoffs were Kettering, Harborough.
Yeah. Hales Owen.
Telford and Hales Owen.
Yeah. Hales Owen played Telford first, and Telford won.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Kettering beat Harborough 1-0.
1-0, yeah.
And then it was obviously a Kettering Telford final,
which was 1-0.
Yeah. Well,
tight game.
Yeah. Well, this is why I say it's over 2 legs, because that's what it was on the website. So I might be.
I don't think it was.
No. Okay.
No, it was a final game. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
lots of news in that.
Yeah, Step 3 is always a good league full of good teams. Barwell, obviously, I can't remember what was the. Have you got the relegation teams on there?
I've not got the full ones. No.
I can't remember who went down, but I know Barwell did go down, but then they got a reprieve, didn't they?
Yeah.
Due to Farsley Celtic.
Yeah.
Not being able to get into that league for their troubles. But yeah, I think Step 3, last year was probably the highlight of non-league, I'd say.
Yeah.
Barring Tamworth in the National League and their FA Cup run, I think Step 3 was a real highlight of what non-league football is about, with Kettering, Harborough having massive FA Cup runs.
Yeah.
I
think looking at this now, because all I've got is like the sort of playoffs that I've printed out. Bar Harborough, who I think made the playoffs really late. Hales Owen, Telford, Kettering and Bedford, they were interchanging all the time.
Yeah, they were.
Obviously, there was a long part of the season where Kettering were top.
Yeah, Kettering were top for a long part. And everyone thought Kettering were going to do it, to be fair.
But then it was really tight towards the end of the year, and they're all interchanging. I mean, look at it. Look at the points. Harborough finished 5th. They were on 71. Hales Owen, 4th, 74. Telford, 74. Kettering 77. It was tight, really tight league. So, but as to be expected, they're unbelievable teams. Even if you just look at them 5 teams, or it's a great league. Really.
Yeah, it's always an exciting league, and it's a league where it's got real good standout players as well.
Yeah,
like some quite well-known non-league players who have been playing higher, been in the pro game. It's one of those, isn't it? Because it's the next step to National League, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's massive shout out to a lot of people. Obviously, Telford, who went up. Few people we know on there: Jimmy Armisen, Matty Stenson, top goal scorer,
on flames.
He was on fire, and they've just kept him as well, which is massive for Telford. I think having a striker.
I'm buzzing for him.
Yeah, I am as well, especially when we sat down with him. It felt like ages ago now, but hearing his story and how he was in quite a bit of a dark place to where he is now, he's obviously enjoying his football, and so but obviously shout out to the gaffer, and Nooney is there as well. They've obviously done an incredible job there to go for the players. And I think Telford's one of those teams that deserve to be in the National League.
It's a massive club.
It's a massive club.
Huge, yeah.
Great stadium facilities and that. And it'd be interesting to see how they get on in that National League North, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But obviously Kettering, obviously, massive shout out to Lavs, good friend of ours as well. Done so well. That FA Cup run was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I thought they were a bit unlucky against Doncaster, really.
Yeah.
But then it's again heads turns of Lav stepping away, which is really interesting. When I saw that, I was obviously we don't know what's happened behind closed doors, and I think a lot of people expected them to get promoted. So whether that was something that Lavs knew that if he didn't get promoted, then he'd have to walk away. We don't know that. But yeah, really interesting because what a manager and what a coach and a person he is. I think any club would love to snap him up.
Absolutely. I just think it's really hard to when you're flying so early in the league, it must be really hard to maintain that. And especially at that level. Of step 3,
and you never want to not wish of a good cup run, but it's
hard, isn't it?
Hard because you want that cup run because it's obviously again done so well for the club and the players' memories and it's stuff that you dream of, don't you, when you're a kid or when you're a player or a manager. But
everybody wants to play on TV.
Yeah, and if you don't have that, do they?
You'll never know, will you?
You never know.
You'll never know. I think it'd be really interesting question to ask all the managers that have done really well this year in the FA Cup. What's more important, league or cup?
Yeah. I think Lavs would say league. That's just my opinion, but I think he would go league. I think he's someone who wants to get promotions and kick on and do things like that.
The thing that gets me is there's not many times you're going to get to the qualifying rounds of the FA Cup with the big teams, even championship level.
Getting to round 1 and 2.
You've got more of a chance of winning a league than possibly doing that again.
Yeah, definitely.
Depending on your run and stuff. I mean, it's horses for courses, isn't it? It's hard to say that Kettering might go on and do it again next year.
It could do.
So
could do.
We'll see.
But another one I'd just shout out that obviously Harbour Town, Mitch Austin.
Yeah.
Just again a club that I remember when Scott Rickards and Mike Fowler were down here and stuff, down at Atherstone. We played them in the Vars, I think, or I don't know if it was a league game, and we absolutely pumped them, but I think that was their sort of start, or their sort of rise up, really. But they've definitely gone up those levels, and to be competing like that in step 3, fair play to Mitch Austin, what he's putting together, and the club and everyone surrounding that. But getting players like Sanjo in. Yeah,
unbelievable. If you're listening, Mitch, we really want to get you on and find out, from bottom to where you are now, how it's all worked.
Definitely.
Because it's an incredible journey.
Be sliding into those DMs, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
But just going on to them, they obviously did well to get into the playoffs, which I think is amazing. But then their recruitment already is smashing ceilings. They've just signed Danny Newton, who's just won the National League North with Brackley. Danny Newton, top striker, is only in the League 2 years ago or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
George Carline.
Yeah.
We watched him play and we were
he was stood out, didn't he?
Incredible. And they've retained some good players as well. But yeah, and obviously Brady Hickey they've signed as well, which is, Brady's been at Barwell for 10 years and stuff, and he's moving on, which is fair enough. I think why not? So it's I'm already putting now that I might be skipping ahead, but for me, Harbour Town are the ones to watch.
Yeah,
that's my team that I will be watching for those players.
Yeah,
and just to see how they perform again, will be really interesting.
Yeah. On to step 2 then, Cookstar.
Yeah, so Brackley Town.
Yeah.
Where we've had a lot of our guests from.
Yeah.
We could probably name a lot of them.
Yeah.
Brackley Town finally win it.
Yeah.
They finally do it, Brackley Town. Obviously, congratulations to Brackley.
What is that, the eighth season, I think?
8th or 9th, weren't it? Yeah, yeah. But they didn't go through the playoffs this time. They
didn't.
won it
Autos,
outright.
yeah.
So that come down to the last day.
Yeah.
Kidderminster lost their last game, which allowed Brackley to go up. I was watching that, and that was very, very interesting. Well, obviously, massive shout out to Gazdeen. Like, what a guy Gazdeen is.
Still going, trooper.
Fair play.
Caffeine and
yeah.
Doesn't drink anything else apart from Monster and coffee, does he? What a guy.
Yeah, like, fair play to him. Been at the club so long, captained the club, been through those ups and downs, hasn't he? And he's re-signed again, which I think is incredible. That he's going to go in the National League again. I think he more than deserves to be in that league.
Yeah.
And also Shane Byrne.
Yeah.
Shane Byrne, he had a bit of a rough time and joined Brackley again, and now he's flying, and he's re-signed for next season as well, which I think is incredible. But one standout player for them, Connor Hall.
Yes.
He bagged some goals last year.
He did, mate.
I think he really heated up and bagged some goals, important goals last year, and he's re-signed as well. Good I think, again, for me, he's one that I'm thinking, I want to see how he does in that National League, you know.
Absolutely.
Connor Hall, because, that's going to be a beast.
Do you know if they have re-signed Morgan Roberts?
I haven't seen it yet.
Because he's also one to watch.
Is he?
Yes.
Very,
very talented player, Morgan.
I haven't seen it, but I might be wrong. He might do. Let us know if he has.
Yeah.
You can tell us if he has.
If you're listening, Morgan, drop us a message.
Yeah. Or anyone who knows him, just tell us.
Yeah, absolutely. But he got man of the match when we went and watched Brackley versus Tamworth.
Yeah, he was very good.
And I always have a little look on Flash Scores to see how Brackley get on. And I flick through Twitter as well, and it always comes up Morgan Roberts goal, or Morgan Roberts does this, does that, man of the match. So I'm excited to see how he gets on in the National League.
I'm really excited to see how Brackley get on in that National League, because seeing what Tamworth have just gone through, I think Tamworth and Brackley are going to be quite a similar team in terms of players, facilities, and that sort of gist. I don't know if do you think that's right.
I agree.
Yeah, so I don't think that they've not announced anything to go full time or whatever. So that'd be. I think it's going to be really interesting to see how Brackley compete in that National League. And speaking to people like Mark White, who we had on the pod, and when we went down there, and me speaking to Andy Peaks and stuff, they always say, don't they, like, you have to be full time, don't you? Because everyone else is full time, and it can. But I think, Tamworth proved it this year. I think so. It's interesting, but obviously playoffs. Who was it? Scunthorpe, weren't it?
Scunthorpe, massive club.
Yeah, big club.
Obviously, we had Max on.
Yeah.
Who went back, didn't he, and scored a few goals.
So that was interesting. Max Brogan, who we had on, he was obviously at Telford in Step 3, was with them. He got recalled just before the playoffs, or a couple of games before the playoffs, to Scunthorpe. Played in the Scunthorpe team. I think he didn't start, but he was coming off the bench, which is that's absolutely fine. But he scored a few. He scored back to goal, which is really good. Played in the playoff finals and stuff, which was really good as well for him. So
I wonder if he got 2 medals.
We'll have to ask him. I don't think he would have.
I think
he should.
Yeah, absolutely.
But at least it worked out for him.
Yeah.
Because if he would have gone back to Scunthorpe, obviously he didn't have a choice, did he? He's contracted by Scunthorpe. They've recalled his loan, haven't they? So it's one of them. But
I mean, we both walked out of here though after the pod with Max and said, "One nice kid, and he's just got his head screwed on right, hasn't he? Like he was an elite athlete."
Yeah, definitely. I think
Max
you can definitely see he's definitely switched on to go that next level, and now he's going to be in the National League with them. He's going to be there next year. I just hope he gets a chance.
Yeah.
I hope he gets a chance to prove in the National League and be there with Scunthorpe, and not loaned out again. If he is loaned out, I hope it's at National League level still.
Yeah.
Not that Step 3 is bad, but I just think for him, I think a National League North or South club or whatever, I think that would fit him quite well. But,
absolutely.
Where are we going?
Step 1, the final one, mate. Obviously, Barnet.
Yeah, always going to do it, Andy.
And when we were, and this is a short story for the listeners. When we went to the awards for the content awards for the pod, there was the Barnet podcast there. What were they called again? Bees Pod. And they were saying, like, and what was it? How long ago was that?
That was 2 years ago, I think.
2 years ago, they were saying, look, we're up and coming. We're floating in and around the playoffs. We're going to come for the league. And lo and behold, I think they were close last year as well.
Barnet have always been a team that have been close. I think with how the National League is structured, of one goes up and then it's playoffs, I think is absolutely bonkers. They were always in the playoffs, I think, but then always lost out basically. Or they'll finish second or third, and then they'll have to go through the playoffs. And it's tough. It's tough going through the playoffs. I mean, you look at that step 1 National League. Forest Green, they were in the playoffs. They got knocked out. Massive club, only League 2 last year.
York City,
a big
Rochdale,
massive club.
Southend were once
Southend, who actually made it to the final, and Oldham come out on top. So it's But Oldham also, they're massive. They used to be League 2. Oldham, there's so many historic clubs in that league. They should all be up there, really, don't they?
Yeah, well, everybody says it, don't they, that we've had on the pod that have played in the National League. It's League 3.
Yeah.
It's virtually the same as League 2 when we're talking standards and stuff like that. But I think the one that we all want to talk about, and I was gutted I wasn't here for the episode, but Tamworth finishing where they did.
Yeah, Tamworth.
With the cup run that they had as well.
Yeah.
Just insane.
Yeah, I mean, speaking with Andy and being in that presence of... His manager reminded me very much of Paul Holloran.
Yeah.
Very much the leadership, man management was on point, so important to him. Getting the right people around the club, which is, I think, a big reason why they've done so well.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've had Tom Tonks and Jazz on the pod, who are great people, and also Beck as well.
Yeah.
So that it's...
They all sung and danced about him, didn't they?
Yeah, definitely. It's nice that they had that FA Cup run, but they still performed in the league.
Yes.
And that's very difficult to do, isn't it? But they managed to do it. But shout out to Dan Creaney, innit, as well. Dan Creaney used to be down here at Aviston.
Yeah.
And, banging goals, isn't he?
Yeah.
Enjoying himself. But again, Tamworth again for me are one that I'll always watch, because I'm just so fascinated with clubs like that.
Yeah.
Because they're not full time either.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen any plans for them to go full time. There's always that conversation at the National League. Do they need to be full time? Do they not? And I think Tamworth have proved that.
Yeah.
I really do. But yeah, what a massive club. They've obviously playing Tottenham. I mean, speaking to him about that, it's mad. And then obviously what Tottenham went on to do.
Win the European Cup.
Win the European Cup. And then sack the manager.
Yeah. When Tonksy put that tweet on, I was dying.
Yeah,
absolutely dying.
Something like, I'll deliver burgers and I'll deliver sandwiches and you can beat these boys. Yeah, great streak.
You've already spoke about one, so I want to go on to your ones to watch this season. Then, Cooky.
Go on,
obviously, who was your first one? You said
Connor Hall is one that I'm looking forward to watching. In terms of an individual player, just because of how he did.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's one that level. Ewan Williams, I'm always looking out for.
Yeah, always.
But yeah, there is some great players, and I'm just trying to think on my head of transfers that have happened already.
One of the local lads. I mean, we've never covered any of their sort of games or anything like that, but we might have had a few. I know Pep's had a stint for them, but there's a young lad from the Neaton called JJ Rowe.
Jai Rowe, yeah.
Yeah, so he was at Boston.
Yeah.
and now he's gone to Wraith Rovers in the Scottish Championship.
Yeah, fair play that
which is a massive move.
Yeah,
and definitely. I remember, I swear Adam and Ross brought him down here for a game, one game, because he was Adam and Ross definitely had him at the Griff.
Everyone's been down Haverson for one game, haven't they?
But they brought him in for a game, I swear they did. And now to see him obviously go to the Scottish Championship is massive.
You're going to watch out for him in the Scottish Championship?
I always look.
Yeah.
People that I know, I always see how they get with oh my God, he's going to kill me. I've not forgot his name. I can see him. He's gone to Crewe Alexander.
Yeah, Josh March.
Josh March, sorry Marchie. But yeah, obviously Josh is. I always have a look to see how he's getting on. And at Callie Stewart, when he got moved to Shrewsbury, I kept scrolling through and seeing how he was getting on. But I'll definitely look out for Jar, because he's a nice kid as well. I've met him a few times. He's a really nice kid.
Who else have you got on there?
Obviously, I'll put Max down. I think I just want Max to do really well. We've already spoke about Steno. It'd be great to see him get back to where he belongs. And hopefully Telford have a good season and they go up again, and we can see Steno back in at step one.
Yeah, definitely.
That'd be great.
I'm gonna throw another one in here.
Go on.
With Atherstone losing Finn, I'm looking forward to seeing how he does at that step through with Barwell. Actually,
yeah. Well, I just hope he plays
from a key perspective, and that's jumping up, knowing what Finn did down here with Atherstone at step 5. Did he play step 6 as well? Or has it just been step 5? It's just been step 5.
So Finn actually was an under 18 at Copswood.
That's it, yeah.
And then he went to Atherstone from that. Yeah.
So seeing how he played at step 5 and how he holds himself and how he's as a keeper, I'm really interested to see that jump from step 5 to step 3.
Yeah.
In a Barwell Jimmy Giannelli team.
Yeah.
Which I've been involved in before.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see how that happens, especially where Barwell are on a rebuilding stage.
Yeah.
They've lost Brady Hickey, who's their main engine person.
Yeah.
I think they've just lost Ethan Hill or Ethan Hall. Sorry if I got that wrong. He's just gone to Leamington.
Yeah.
I believe. So that's going to be, they have lost some key players. And they're in this rebuilding phase, Barwell. So that's another one for me, I think.
Okay.
From a keeper point of view.
What about managerial changes? Obviously, we've already spoke about Labs. It's going to be interesting to see where Labs ends up.
It will be interesting to see where Labs goes. Obviously, we know Harry Harris has just gone in at Kozel.
Yeah.
Which I think is fantastic for H. He's back in football. Not that he's been out of football, but he's been in the back and behind the scenes,
watching.
Behind the scenes, doing a lot of development on himself. But it's great to see him back at a club like Kozel, fantastic club.
Yeah.
Signing players already. One we know, Cam Belford.
Massive signing.
Big signing. Cam Belford is a very well-known goalkeeper across many levels of football.
Absolutely batshit crazy. One of our first guests, Cam, weren't he?
He was our second guest.
Yeah.
Second or third, actually. But really good. I saw him at the gym the other day and he was like, you need to get me back on. You need to get me back on.
Is that what he said?
Yeah. So he's itching to come back on. But we had a chat, to be fair, and he said he had a few clubs that he could have easily gone to. But I think he knows H quite well. And I think they were together at Cov as well, I think he said to me.
Yeah.
So he's known H for a long time. And I think Koval's still at a good level, ain't they? So fair play. So that's a good bit of business, that is, by H, and for him to be back in football.
One that I've got down, mate, was obviously the departure of Liam McDonald at Stourbridge.
Yeah.
Because I've never seen that coming. I know they made a lot of shrewd signings at the start of the season, and I don't know if it's not worked out, if they've ended up where they wanted to be. But
they were up there though. They weren't like floating down the bottom. They were up there. Yeah. They did well.
Yeah.
But there's obviously something happened in it. I think from knowing managers, especially being with Adam and Ross and that, there's so much that goes on in it.
Yeah. One of our other, sorry to cut back, but one of our other previous guests has made a move as well.
Oh.
So Big A, Aaron Roberts,
yes,
has gone from Bromsgrove to Redditch.
I didn't see that happening, you know.
No, nor me. And I looked on the posts.
Because he's Bromsgrove's like highest appearance player, isn't he?
And he played near enough every game this season just gone. And I looked, because I'm friends with Aaron on Facebook, and he was reposting all the, transfer news, blah, blah, blah. And some of the comments from the fans was just incredible. Just
positive.
That's good. There was no negative, not one negative, mate.
Yeah, that's good then.
They were all just saying, "Can't believe that you're going. You were, first name on the team sheet every week."
Yeah.
And they had a really good end to the season. Bromsgrove did, because they were right down there, and then they just went on a run. But yeah, I'm gutted for Aaron, because I know that Bromsgrove meant so much to him. But on to pastures new.
It's a bit like that Brady story, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're there so long. It's that fresh start, isn't it? It's that new club, new club smell, new club tracksuit, all that gear in it. But he's a good player, isn't he, Aaron?
He is, mate.
He's a good, solid player.
Solid.
Old-fashioned centre half.
Yeah, that's it.
Still does a job.
Last bit from me then, Cookie. So we spoke a little bit about the restructures of the new leagues and stuff like that. I want you to give me one team that you're really going to keep your eyes out for this year. It doesn't have to be higher. It could be anyone.
Yeah, well, I've already mentioned. I think Harborough for me have really gained my attention this last season.
Yeah.
So I think for me, Harborough is someone I'm definitely watching out for again. I'd love to go to a game.
Yeah. Never been there.
They've got this Spanish link, haven't they?
Well?
You see that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
This is
Brady Hickey was doing
yeah. They've got their new players to do the
Spanish.
I'm not going to do any Spanish, but
not Trent Alexander-Arnold when he started for Madrid. Hala Madrid.
Yeah. Hala Harborough.
Yeah, that's it.
And I think they're going for a pre-season friendly out there as well.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? Imagine being a part of that. That'd be superb,
incredible.
Wouldn't it?
So they are one. I'm also going to throw Tamworth in there again, just because I want to see, and also Brackley. I know I'm probably naming a lot of the same clubs here, but they are ones that I'm looking out for, just because I'm excited to see how they get on again in that league. Brackley in the National League again. I'm excited for that. Always obviously looking out for Atherstone, supporting them, of course.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the boys, Tomo, Norts and all them.
Yeah.
Top people. And
don't take all of them off me.
Sorry, go on then. That's me done.
Obviously, I'll always keep an eye on Atherstone, and I'm just so interested to visit for them local games, just to see what the atmosphere's like and stuff like that.
Definitely with Atherstone and Eton, ain't we?
Well, they're another one. I'll keep an eye on the Eton. I'm going to go low league and go boring, but I'm going to keep an eye on the Eton just to see how they're getting on. I think Carzo's still there. I know Louis Baker's left.
Yeah.
But I know Carzo's still there, so hopefully we can see him and have a good chat with him. But obviously I've got a lot of friends that play for Telford, so I hope that they do really well. Just all of them really, and it's more individuals for me, like I said a moment ago.
Definitely.
I'm really interested to see how Callie Stewart's going to get in League 2 this year.
I was just going to mention that. Obviously, we do mainly talk about non-league, but obviously, definitely looking out for Callie Stewart in League 2.
Your favourite player's gone, hasn't he?
Josh March.
Jordan Shipley.
Yeah, Josh March in for Crewe.
Yeah.
Really interested with that one. Yeah, Shipper's gone to Port Vale.
Yeah.
Obviously, Mitch Clark.
He's signed back on, and he's...
So they've gone up, haven't they? So they're getting League 1, aren't they?
Yeah.
So that'll be again. Always look out for those boys, because I think they always have them non-league roots, don't they?
Yeah.
They never let go, which is cool to see. So yeah, they'll be ones. Another one to again, Lichfield. Lichfield are going to be ones to watch as well, to see how they adapt to that step forward. 100%. That'd be a very interesting. I think all the teams that have been promoted are going to be ones to watch to see how they adapt. 100%.
Yeah.
So yeah,
can't wait for the season to start. I don't want to say it too early. I've sort of enjoyed not having football myself for a little bit, and
what's next for you?
Oh, I don't know, mate. I do not know.
I'm fully retired now.
Life at the minute, mate.
Yeah.
Just.
I think I'd really struggle going back into it now.
Really?
I don't think I could do it anymore. No, it'd be interesting though. But I was going to say one more thing.
Slipped your mind.
It has slipped my mind. That's it. When you said about you're looking for the seasons coming back, but you're also not because you want that break, don't you?
Yeah, but I want to get
like
good.
It hasn't finished.
I want to get good at golf, Cookie.
You need to go out and play then.
I know.
But I feel like the season doesn't finish.
It seems every year it gets shorter and shorter.
We spoke about this. Of the league will finish. Clubs start announcing retained players who they're signing. All this. We talked about that pre-season.
Oh yeah.
The pre-season chat. Players don't have a rest. They're straight back in it. And we're seeing it now in the pro game. They've got the Club World Cup going on.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm a Chelsea player or whatever,
I'd be knackered, wouldn't you?
I'd be like fuming. I'm like, I want to go on holiday.
Called to international duty as well, because you've got the, obviously, I know it's finished now for a little while, but you know, you had England had a few games a few weeks ago.
It's non-stop for
it's hard,
for that
mate.
top. I know we're straying off to top level professionals now, but it's so hard, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, the thing is though, non-league it's even affecting non-league players, because I had a little flick through Cookie the other day, and the amount of non-league players that are playing for like Gibraltar, San Marino, you know, even in the AFCON, so like Bermuda.
Yeah.
There's always one or two non-league players that are like in that team.
Yeah.
And it's just like, give yourself a break, man. Like, you must be knackered.
Yeah, the recovery's got to be key there. But I feel like football is just an all year round thing now, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's always something going on in the summer. Then you throw in what we spoke about, Ballers League.
Yeah.
So Ballers League was on during the season.
Yeah.
So you got to think they're playing Ballers League. I think it's a Monday night. Yeah. But they'll also do a training session with their team at some point in the week.
Yeah.
Then they're playing for their non-league club either Tuesday, Thursday or Saturday.
Yeah.
It's a lot of football they're packing in there. Mate. But
it's good for non-league though,
it's
because
good,
you're not getting your Barry the Barrel stood at centre half anymore, are you?
It's a great promotion for non-league football, which I think we've always asked for.
Yeah.
Of that non-league football to be shouted out. So, and the players, the standard now is getting a joke.
Yeah.
And even all levels of non-league football, there's always standout players or teams, and the standard now of football is a joke. And I remember coming on as a physio 11 years ago, down Atherstone here with Mark Granger and Martin Sockett and that, to like now. Completely different.
Yeah.
Just even from everything, from the pitch to you got the video cameras and the
YouTube, social media pages,
YouTube highlights on it, and I'm making myself sound like a dinosaur.
But how long have we been doing this for now, Cookie?
2 years, pretty much. Yeah.
And look how much it's changed.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's mad.
It's hopefully we'll get better. Hopefully we'll keep getting better. We ain't going nowhere. We might be quiet a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's because we're doing things correctly. I'd say
absolutely. Gone are the days where we used to do more than one episode a week.
I don't know. I look back now and I think how we
grew up now.
how we did one a week. That was beyond me.
Yeah.
But obviously we want to get more on YouTube and things like that and just grow it a bit more. But yeah, I'm going to throw a little shout out to Christian, obviously through the turnstiles of non-league football. He's got his 3rd edition magazine out at the minute.
Yeah.
So make sure you go and get one of those. It's like £3. Brilliant guy. He's really shouting from the rooftops about non-league football. It's great what he's doing, putting out a programme where he's allowing all people from non-league football backgrounds, worlds, clubs share their stories of non-league football and how it's helped them and their little stories, which is just great little bit of information. Top lad as well, so he's doing well with that, so go and get one of those. So that's a big shout out for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and bring on the stag.
Bring on the stag. There may be a little stag episode because there's a few non-league ballers there.
There's a few ex-guests there as well, isn't there?
There is.
So
fill them full of Smirnoff Ice and let's see what we can get out of them.
I've already asked for permission. I've already asked permission, Lee, if I can vlog it. So you might see a vlog on YouTube of the stag. We might have to blur Adam's face out for work purposes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we happy?
Happy.
Right. Hopefully next time you hear from us, it'll be another guest.
Absolutely.
We're getting them lined up. Don't worry. It's all been done in the background.
It is.
So yeah.
That's a wrap.